welcome everybody to another podcast here on my channel with Medicine to Success. I just wanted to come and tell you guys how amazing you guys are and where your journey is in life. Just sit down and just be grateful where you're at. Just look around you and say, wow, this is how far I've came, and there's so much more I'm willing to overcome. So just be thankful in that aspect. And I wanted to talk to you guys about how your journey is going through the success. Maybe talk about how my challenges, what I've gone through to get to where I'm at right now. There's way more to come, but I just want to be able to pour into you guys and let you guys know that you're not alone. There's people here that are in the same boat as you, but if you connect with your environment, connect with the community around you, you're truly going to be able to understand how to really grasp and know how to pinpoint certain situations and just turn it into a great outcome, whether you're learning from a mistake, whether you failed and you're overcoming it and you're able to accomplish a goal. Just being able to acknowledge where you're at in present time and just being like, wow, I'm doing this, I'm killing it. There's not many people like you or me, and it's amazing to see other people's growth and see other people's journey. So that's a little bit what we're going to talk about. But before we get into it, I do want to make sure that we get into the word and that you're pouring yourself every single time that we go on this podcast, or either by yourself, because the more you read into the word, the more you spread the word, the more joy you will receive within your heart, and know that you are happy. Because at the end of the day, either you choose just happiness without Christ and you're doing your own thing, but there's not going to be enough joy within that. If versus you are in joy and you are learning the Christ, you will become the best that you've ever become, because you have someone overlooking you and just guiding you and pouring and making sure that you can walk through the Lord with Christ. So the verse that we're going to be going into here today is Proverbs chapter 1 verse 8. So before we get into this, the more you pour into yourself, the more you read this Bible is like the guide on how to live a successful life, how to live a happy, joyful life with Christ. So without reading the Bible, this is like a blueprint on how to do that, how to change your habits, how to become a better person, and how to be forgiven with grace of your sin. So just know that, just keep reading the Bible. Your time will come. Just be patient and have faith in the Lord. All right, so let's get into it. So verse 8 for chapter 1 in Proverbs, it's, listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teachings. They are a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. So with this verse, from what I got from this is from anyone. If you do not listen to your parents are always going to be right. And I'm going to be the first one to say it, because I remember so many times of whether it was getting a new job or doing a new business or wanting to do something new, it's always the same thing. It's always, you know what? Your parents are telling you one thing about a certain thing you're doing because they know you. They've been through it. They've done it. So it's like we tend to not believe when our parents say certain things, and we're just like, oh no, we'll be fine, we'll do it. Then we get through it, like myself, we go through it, and then we're like, you know what, they were right. And then they come back and it's like, didn't I? It's like crazy that I told you this. And that's what parents say. At least my mom says that. It's like whenever I'm doing something that I know she knows it's not like good for me, or she knows that I won't like it, she'll be like, I'll go back to her and I'll tell her like how I feel about it and what I learned from it. And she's like, it's crazy. Like I think I feel like I told you something about that. Like she'll tell me that and she'll catch me. And sometimes it's like, you're right, you know? So we have to be able to give grace to our parents, because if they're telling this, whether it's not our parents, but someone that we trust, if they're telling us this, it's because they know it. Whether you take it or not, you're going to learn through it. And if you fail, you're gonna know they're right. So next time they do tell you something, it's like, okay, let me be precautious, let me rethink about everything I'm doing, and just start to really understand why they're telling you this. So I think that's very important to understand, is trust in people that have been through it, that have gone through it, that know how to overcome certain things that you maybe are stuck on, right? So I do want to get started. Now that we have read the Bible, make sure to share it, because at the end of the day, God's message is to share the word with other people and to just help them become the better selves that they can be. And don't gatekeep anything, because that's really not going to get you nowhere. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be alone. You want to make sure you help people out and that you're always by their side. And that's one thing. When you're going through your journey, you feel like you're alone, but in reality, you have people. You know that when you're surrounded by a community that truly loves you, that truly wants to pour into you, they're not doing it to be rude. They're not doing it to just say, just do whatever you want. They're doing it and because they love to help you. They care about you. If someone is seeing you struggle and they're just pouring into you and giving you advice and telling you maybe you shouldn't do that, it's not to hurt you. Do not take it personal. And that's something that I struggle with all the time, is I feel like when someone is telling me you're not doing it correctly, it's because I feel like they don't care about me and they rather care about me just doing whatever I want. But in reality, it's not the case. They want to see you succeed. They want you to be the better version of you. And the more you understand and say, you know what, let's stop taking it personal. Let's start understanding why they're saying it. Maybe overlooking yourself. Maybe it's not a them, it's a you problem. And you have to understand, okay, maybe this situation that happened, or maybe this problem, or maybe something at work, or anything that you're doing, it's because of what you did and your actions towards it. And that's okay. You're always going to have hurdles. You have to just trust in your mentors, trust in the people around you. But you have to understand that you will have mistakes in life. There's going to be things that you probably didn't know was going to happen, but you have to live through it. You have to be able to be okay with failing, with being okay with not having it right now. We tend to, as people, which is normal, to want it right away and to just hope for something, to maybe just hope for a future blessing when it hasn't even been your time. Maybe your time right now is to really grow yourself, shape yourself to become the change of who you are making yourself become. And you have to, the more you understand it, the more you're going to be able to be okay with being who you are right now. And every day you should try to improve something better, do a task, be productive in something for your daily selves, to make sure that you're not just living the daily life, but that you're actually understanding what is good and what is not. I learned this lesson, I made a mistake, now it's time to not do it again. Does that make sense? So something that I would say is, if you know that you're not supposed to do something, but you do it, again, you're creating a sin, and you should not be creating the same sin over and over. Because yes, God's going to forgive you, God's going to be there for you, but you have to be the one to understand, okay, I learned this lesson, let's not make it happen again. And obviously you're going to be creating like those habits and patterns to change that, and it's going to take time. Don't think that something's just going to happen so quick. It happens when it's the perfect time for you, and you have to be consistent. You have to be on it, and you have to know that if it's for you, it's going to be for you. If it's not, do not push it. If you are in a group, or if you are doing a business and you know it's for you, but you're just saying, you know what, I'm going to relax, I'm going to chill, I'm going to let it go, don't do that. You can't just half put yourself in. You have to be fully committed, fully determined to know that you will make mistakes, you will fail, you won't have that environment or support, but you have to know that God's going to be with you, supporting you. And just knowing that you have to be consistent and repeating certain habits over and over again, that's what's going to be a successful mindset. And you have to learn and train your mind to saying, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not right now, but it will in the future. I have to just enjoy where I'm at, enjoy the process, and just say, you know what? In due time, it will come. Okay, and just having faith in yourself, don't just do something just because you want to do it. No, do it because you truly have a passion for it. A lot of people, especially nowadays, just do something because maybe a family friend did it and it succeeded for him, but it's not always the case with certain people. If you don't truly feel it in your heart and God didn't put in your heart for you to do it, then it's not for you. God's going to create a vision for you. He's going to paint it for you. And only you can see it in your eyes. But if you see it, you have to go and create it. You can't recreate another person's passion and vision if it's not yours. It's just gonna make you doubt. It's gonna make you just compare yourself to another person's life when in reality, you have to know what you're passionate about and loving, because you're gonna do that for your entire life. And not just right now, but you're gonna set that stage for your future kids, your future children, and make it a traditional habit, because the kids are gonna see you and what you do, the way your practices are, and they're gonna think it's okay, but it's not for you. And you're gonna be living this fake life and saying, you know what? I really like to do this. I really like my community, but you don't like the certain things that they do. And it's okay to leave. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of it. Because if you're afraid of something, you're afraid of failing, you're gonna be stuck being comfortable wherever you are at in life, whether that's in school, job, or business, or community, or anything like that. Don't feel stuck on being somewhere or being anywhere where you do not want to be. Become the best version of you. Only you know what you're meant for yourself. Do not feel ashamed because of it. Don't let other people's expectations or thoughts about what you are doing affect who you are and what you know you're meant to become. Because at the end of the day, you would love to be this future successful person, this bright, amazing person that inspires so many people. But maybe right now you're in the process of learning that. Maybe right now you are learning an experience that you're gonna eventually tell your future people that one day. You're gonna be able to tell this community what you experienced and how you were able to overcome it. So just also think about that. Take notes. Like sometimes I'll have like a journal or a notepad. Notebooks are so essential when you're growing in life and becoming better, because sometimes when I'm going through something and I know that it's meant for me, I'll write it down and then I'll talk about how I was able to overcome it, because maybe someone that you know is going through that when you already did it, and you're able to just go for it and just tell them how it is you were able to overcome it, right? Another thing that I also suggest too that I created was creating a blueprint for success. So it's about like 4 to 6 pages long and they're kind of thin, so you won't be able to see how many pages it is. But I created this blueprint when I was in a space of awareness, when I was in a space of awokenness, when I was in so much joy. I still am, but there's always room for improvement for myself. But when you are in that stage where you know you're good, you know that you are consistently making those goals that you're supposed to be hitting for the month, wherever you are, business, job, school, anywhere, create a blueprint for yourself and tell yourself why. Keep a when, a date. A date is very essential. For myself, I decided to write down, what is my why? What is my why in life? Why am I doing what I do for the people in my life? I do it for them. I do it for myself. I do it for my future kids. Anything, create your why. Then create your when. When do you want to do this? When do you want to hit that goal? When do you want to become successful? I said by the age of 25 years old, and I'm currently 21. Do whatever fits for you. Because everyone's situation in life is completely different. So I'm saying by the age of 25, and that's in 4 years from now, because of the situation I'm in. versus someone that's 23 and wants to do it by 25. They are in a completely different situation because of where they have grown. And that's another point. Do not compare yourself with other people. The more you compare yourself with people, the more you're going to have a doubt in mind, and you're just not going to feel too good, because people have a different starting point in life. Maybe your starting point was when you were 20. Maybe it started again when you were 24, and then again when you were 26. It's okay to keep renewing yourself. Just know, give yourself grace, give yourself patience. Do not be too hard on yourself. That's something I always struggle with too, is I'm always hard on myself, and I'm always just saying like, why am I not there yet? I'm always doing these things. There's so many areas of where I want to go and it's not working for me. What is the reason? Till I was able to figure out, you know what, maybe those things aren't the reasons why I'm failing. Maybe it's myself. Maybe I have to be able to accept and just recognize that I'm pouring myself in way too many areas of my life, that I'm not able to solely figure out exactly what is meant for me. Because there's only one thing that would be truly meant for you, and then it's going to branch out into many different things that you want to do, many different things. But you have to be passionate about one thing first, so that when you do that, you finish that, and it's good and successful and accomplished, you're able to branch out to many other things that can go farther than what you're meant to become, right? And then having a date. So I put January 1st, 2028. So that's when I'm going to be 25 years old. But then you also have to remember what things you're grateful for, why you're going to be grateful when you hit that. So whenever you have a thing that you want to be successful with, or you want to accomplish a goal, how are you going to feel when you do hit it? Are you going to feel disappointed? Are you going to feel grateful? And maybe it not be the case when you do hit that. And maybe it's like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have not done that. Yes, I succeeded in it, but now I really don't enjoy it. But you know what? It is okay to learn and live life. Most successful people that have really accomplished life, they don't become successful till their age 40. There's just so many stories of successful business owners or people that truly have become more, that haven't went to that area until they were older. And we're so young, we're learning. Showing up. Showing up is another thing that you need to keep in mind. Showing up to those events, conferences, groups, people's meetings, events, showing up is the most essential and critical thing that you can do when becoming successful. If someone's inviting you to go to an event and you don't go, you just missed out on a chance to potentially hear a successful spokesperson that could have changed your mindset, changed the way you thought, changed the way you did habits, and changed your way of thinking. Because people are only here to help you. People are here to be unity and to just respect your time. Use your time wisely, and do not just be so focused on social media or TikTok unless you're not willing to put in the effort to make that money and spread inspiration and make an impact in other people's lives. Yes, money is important, but you also have to keep in mind that your mental health is worth more than you can ever think. Because we have this thought, if we have money, we're gonna be so happy and we're able to do this and that. Don't get me wrong, that does come with good traits, because you're able to travel more, you're able to do more. But keep in mind that you might not have the same people in your lives. There's probably people in your lives that are not gonna be pouring in value. And when you are just pouring into God, He's truly going to show you the way of how to do things. And if money is the way you're going to go, He's going to show you to that. But He's always going to show you how to be grateful, how to live life, and how to spread the love of God. Reflecting an image of who He is and becoming yourself is where you're going to get to become successful in the long run, because you're always growing and learning in life. So as long as you're being grateful, as long as you're recognizing yourself and just saying, you know what, for example, you know what, Chantel, you're doing really great today. you just did this, this, and this, and this, and all those 4 things are being productive, and you were able to get it done, and that's going to be able to help you for what you have to do tomorrow to get that task done, and then you be able to accomplish your goal that you have to do. So with that being said, I do want to make sure you guys pour into yourselves and you guys are able to find a blueprint that works for you. Study someone that you know is where you want to become, because if you study them and then you replicate that, that's what's truly going to get you ahead, and you have to just follow it. Don't just listen, act on those actions, create that pattern, and know you will become where you want to go. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for listening and being able to just take your time to listen to me. I hope I was able to provide value and inspiration and just give you guys something to boost yourself. Maybe when you're going to work or when you're going to a special event, you listen to this podcast and you're able to just say, wow, she really did that, and I know that I can really learn from what she said. So I hope I really am able to just be that person for you guys, to just guide you guys, be there for you guys. And make sure to follow my socials. I'm gonna leave them down in the link below the bio, and make sure you follow it to stay consistent. And maybe there's something that I'm gonna post that maybe changes your life, that maybe gives you a faith, that maybe opens up a door for you. Keep your doors open and know that every single one comes with an intention, but it's up to you to know whether it's good for you. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you guys so much for your time and being able to listen to Medicine for Success.